the other people are Artemis Fowl's parents, and the dad is kind of loosely based on my dad, because the dad is one of these multi-talented guys. And he used to be a gangster, but then he reforms very quickly, and he turns into a person who wants to save the earth. And my dad is like that. He can paint, he can write, he's a historian, he built his own house, he built his boat from reclaimed wood. He's an amazing guy. And he just gave all of us one talent each, all the brothers. I got the writing, my brother Don got the architecture, Niall got the archaeology, Paul got the engineering. So, you know, he's an amazing guy. And but I was going to base the mother on my wife Jackie. But she said, I said, Jackie, can I? She said, you are not putting me. You are not putting me in any of your stories. Do you understand? I said, yes, Charlie. And then I went down to, yeah, and you're not getting my story, so stop asking me. Just in case anyone was listening. But I did test the theory on it, because Artemis Fowl's mother has a nervous breakdown when Artemis Fowl's dad goes missing. And I wanted to know if this was realistic. I said, you know, honey, if your husband goes missing, will the wife have me? If I were to go missing, honey, tomorrow, and you had no idea where I was, would you have a nervous breakdown? And she said to me, would you be taking the car? I don't know what that means, but it's like the time she bought me a parachute jump for Christmas. I wasn't sure what the message was there. Why do I have to sign that paper? What is that paper? Just sign it and get it in the plane. Anyway, I survived. And then I think that's really all. Oh, there's also Foley, who is the centaur computer guy who makes all the weapons and stuff. And I didn't know this, or I didn't realize this, but my wife said, he's just totally like you, except for the horse bits. He is totally like you. All you do is sit on your computer and, you know, talk to your computer all the time. And that's, I said, wow, it is like me. Because I'm always on my computer at home, because I just carry it around, and wherever I sit down, I open my computer. And I just work all the time. And if someone comes into the room, I say something maybe. But usually, I'm acting out what I'm writing. It's a bad habit, I know. But, so if I'm writing about a fight, it'll be, I will kill you. No, I will kill you. Don't kill him, I like him. Okay, kill him, don't kill me. You kill him. And it's great. And everyone knows what I'm doing, so it's fine. But one time, the weather was fantastic, and a strange orange orb had appeared in the sky. We all went out to worship this orange orb. And we covered ourselves, you know, with fried eggs and chip oil, and then it gets more burned. And I wanted to go out there and get a bit of suntan, but I had to work. And I couldn't see the screen in the sunlight. It was a few years ago, before the super bright screens. So I invented a clever tool known as cardboard box. And I put my laptop into the cardboard box and cut a hole in the front of it. And I could type and I could see it. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. And so I was outside on the patio, and everyone knew what I was doing. But I was on the road now. Our house was on the road, so I'm sitting at the front of the house in the estate, typing. But yes, I will kill you. No, you won't. Well, you can't kill me because I'm a berry. And that was fine. Except when my wife's friend was coming to visit. To her, I was just shouting into a box. So she went into Jackie, she just backed away, and Jackie was in the kitchen, she went into Jackie, and she didn't want to be too blunt, but it was so kind what she said. She just put her arm around Jackie and she said, you know, I will always be here for you. Because in her mind, it was only a matter of time before I was carted off somewhere in my little box. So that's all the characters I have in the story. I would like to take some questions, as many as I can in the time. But I will warn you that I'm Irish, so you will ask me a question. I will talk for 20 minutes, and I still won't have answered the question. So I think we have some people with mics. If you have a question, just put up your hand. Oh, there's a couple of hands up already. Firstly, either the hands are up or the fascist salute. I can't see anything, so I don't know where the mics are. Well, there's a guy. He's moving with his hand up. That's, okay. If you can get it to someone. Tell me your name first in case I want to sue you.
My name is Katya, and I'm here with my son Nathan, who just loves loved your books.
All right,
Your son Sean.
You got a Sean too?
I have a Sean, yes. Yeah.
Have you got an Irish connection?
When you laugh, when he was quite little, we had a problem with him putting his shoes and socks on, and he said, "Could you put your socks on first?"
Yeah.
And I went, "Well, why do you put my shoes on first?" I'm like, "No." And I went, "Okay, when we say that, we actually mean for you to put your socks on first." He said, "Well, why don't you say that?"
You have
So
to be
that tile story, I had that all
absolutely accurate.
So your books are, we love your books, but we were talking what Pink Butler was based on. Do you know
Oh,
that?
Butler, yeah. Butler is the bodyguard, and he's supposed to be one of the toughest men in the world. And this is actually based on something I imagined many years ago when I was in school, primary school. And I used to read, and in those days reading was not as cool as it is today. And you could actually be bullied for reading, as crazy as that sounds. So I would be outside reading a book. There's this guy, because bullies are clever. They do things that sound harmless, so that when you tell on them, it's my brother Paul used to do this. That's too long, so I better tell this one. So anyway, I have another half-hour long story which I can't tell. So this guy would come over and I would be reading in the yard, and he'd say, "Hey, bookworm, Boris," because I wear glasses. He said, "You know, what page are you on?" And I would say, "I'm on page 27." And then he would say, "Okay, well," he would poke me 27 times in the same spot. And I got also this little round bruise there. And I knew if I told the principal that would seem absolutely harmless. So I never told him. But I imagined that while he was poking me, a big guy just stepped over the wall and caught this guy by the head like a basketball player catches the basketball and just tossed him away. And I imagine I had this bodyguard. Now the bodyguard never turned up, but the idea stayed there and it became Butler. And you know what they say, that it's very hard to move on from bullying, and that you should kind of go and see the bully and talk it out. Well, 2 years ago, I actually found out where that bully lived, and I waited until he went to work, and I burned his house down. I didn't do it. I didn't burn his house down. And if there's a report on the internet about a house being burned down, it was not me. Okay. There's a gent right down in the front. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris. Who's mulch based off of?
Oh, yes. Oh, a mulch is a dwarf who's slightly flatulent. Very flatulent. And he's so flatulent that he can use jet power. And it's kind of one of the more ridiculous characters in the books. But people love him, and I love him, because he just comes to your house, he eats everything. He's an anarchy, that's what he is. He's anarchy and whinge. He just comes to your house, eats everything, and leaves. And I love that about him as a character. He doesn't have much loyalty to anybody. You never know when he's going to pop up and leave. And he's in every single book, and people love him. And he's based a little bit on one of my little brothers, who was very flatulent as a baby. As babies, like half an hour, he was very flatulent. But he was so flatulent that sometimes he would just blow his nappy off. He used to be burnt, boom, yes. But he'd be lying in bed on his little cot, and people would come in and they would just be going to tickle him. He said, "No, don't tickle him." And I said, "No." I said, "Oh no, he doesn't like tickles." "What does he like?" "Well, he likes it. If you poke him really hard in the stomach." He loves it. He likes being poked hard. Oh, oh, oh. And if you lean right in close, when you're doing that, you can see your face and clench your teeth. He loves it. So there you go. Poke, poke, third poke. It was like that geezer in Old Face. Third poke.